Good morning. Basically today I wanted to go over the cost of living here in Prague in the Czech Republic. I wanted to kind of compare it to Vancouver because that's what I know, and I lived there for 7 years before moving here. The comparison with that will mainly just be like cost of certain things: phone bill, rent, travel, food, groceries, and going out, and then what I make. Average pay here, as well as the average pay for everybody in the Czech Republic, which is actually quite low. From what I've researched, it's about 30,000 Czech crowns, 32,000 Czech crowns, which is $1,759 Canadian per month. What I make as a barber here is a little bit more than that on average. Some months it's less, some months it's more. I've been here for almost half a year, so about 4 months now. So basically, starting off with how much I make a month, I make about 42,000 Czech crowns a month on average, but I get paid 1,800 Czech crowns for tips, because tipping here isn't really a thing. So when you do get tipped, it's about 10 crowns on average, which is like 50 cents, 55 cents. So tipping is not like a huge thing here, unfortunately, but I get paid higher than the average, which is kind of crazy. I know certain people who work in hospitals here, tattoo artists, bartenders who make less than I do. So it's good money for me living here. So 42,000 Czech crowns is about 2,311.32 to be exact. So that's what I make per month. And then with tips is about $100 a month. So it's not a lot, like I said. In Canada, some days I would make $100 a day in tips. Going off of that, starting out with what I pay for rent here. So I live in a 3-bedroom apartment in like a nice area of the city. It is like a very expat friendly zone. I will try and add a map here. So I live right next to a park called Vrgrovi, which has a cool beer garden, nice views of the city, lots of dogs walking around. So 39,000 Czech crowns is 2,144.46 for the entire unit. Best part about that is it includes water and electricity, as well as Wi-Fi. So we don't have to pay any extras, it's just that. So my portion is 13,000 Czech crowns, and I pay that on a monthly basis. So that's $715.41 Canadian. Going off of what the conversion is right now, which is about, I believe, 18 here. $1 Canadian is 18.19 Czech crowns. So if you come here with $100, you're basically coming here with 1,800 Czech crowns. So yeah, I paid $715.41 for rent, which isn't bad, but I've heard that what I pay in rent for what I get is actually quite expensive for the Czech Republic. If I were to pay 2,000 Czech crowns more, which is basically $100. So if I paid $800, I could have my own apartment with a bathroom and a kitchen. It'd most likely be like a bachelor apartment or like a smaller 1-bedroom. So my rent is rather expensive for where I'm at. My phone bill, I pay 824 Czech every month for my phone bill. And what that includes is unlimited data. In Canada, I've noticed that when you are paying your phone bill, they'll say that it's unlimited to a point. So you'll have like 1 gig unlimited data, or like 5G or whatever the fastest data you can get. But then once you hit that 1G or whatever, it drops way off and it goes to like this super slow data, which is horrendous, and you can't do anything on it. So here, when I pay $824, which is about $45, I get unlimited data, and they mean unlimited data, which is fucking awesome. You get the fastest Wi-Fi wherever you are, and it doesn't drop off at any point. So the entire month you have unlimited like 5G, which is fucking awesome. So going down my list here, food and groceries, as well as going out, cost-wise. I would say on average, if I'm going to the grocery store, it is a little bit more expensive. So I pay about 1,000 crowns, which is $55, if I plan on buying groceries, and it's not that much, like basically a backpack full. I would say that the cost of food and groceries here is about the same as Vancouver, if not a little bit more expensive for certain kind of specialty items. So about 1,000, so $55 to buy groceries. One thing, going out is quite cheap. If you want to go out for dinner, get like there's a restaurant right underneath me that I had a burger last night, and I've quit drinking recently. So I had a non-alcoholic beer. Non-alcoholic beer and the burger, it was a big portion burger. I paid 500 Czech crowns for, so it was like 27 bucks, which is kind of expensive. Sorry. Most of the places that you go to in the Czech Republic, if you're grabbing dinner somewhere, if you're getting beers and you're getting food, you can normally have dinner for 2 people for about $500-600. Chinese food is super cheap here, so I go normally get Chinese food at lunch, and it's about 130 Czech crowns for a plate. So it'll be like rice and like kung pao chicken. So that's $7 Canadian. So, you know, on average, you're probably spending for 2 people around $30 to go out for like a meal and have a drink. It obviously goes up the more cocktails you have, but beer here is insanely cheap. An expensive beer, like really expensive, so at like sort of the tourist destinations, the most expensive I think I've seen is 70 crowns, which is $3.85. And then average, say you want to buy like a can of beer at a store, it's about 20. So $1.26 Canadian to get a beer, which is insane. No wonder this country is like #1 ranked per capita for beer drinking in the world. So going off of what I get paid, 42,000 Czech crowns, and then minus, you know, my rent, which is 13,000, minus my phone bill, which is 824, and then groceries 1,000, going out 500. It leaves you with a bit of spending money, which is awesome. But that leads me to my next point, is a lot of things that you would buy here are quite expensive. So if you're buying electronics, they're probably double or triple what you would pay anywhere else in Europe. Clothing can be expensive. There are a few stores like Postmark that you pay a little bit less. It's sort of like, I would compare it to like, maybe like H&M. They do have H&M here as well, but it's sort of on the same wavelength, so it's not overly expensive, but it's not cheap either. So electronics are expensive. The gimbal I'm filming this on was about 400 Canadian dollars. I needed something tripod wise so that I could do these sort of talking head videos, as well as something that I can film around the city with. Kind of going through the pros and cons, the rent is really cheap here, especially compared to Vancouver, where like a 1-bedroom is like, you know, 2,000 a month, if not more. And then utilities on top of that. Like I was shocked coming here. Beer and food are also quite cheap, which is wicked. A couple of the beer and food as in going out for beer and food. is quite cheap. Another thing is, I guess, going through some of the cons that I've noticed, the monthly pay fucking sucks. You normally only get paid once a month here, so you'll get one big large sum, and then you'll have to sort of divide throughout the month. The issue with that is, like, say you miss your phone bill, or you miss your credit card payment, or you miss any bills, subscription-based platforms that you use, Netflix or any of those things. If you miss them, your credit card, for example, will add interest to you missing that bill. So you have to be very mindful of paying your bills when you get paid, or holding money so that you can pay it on the exact date that your bill comes out, which blows. One other thing with the rent is there's a huge lack of housing here right now, due to the fact that it's a protected city in terms of history. You're not allowed to really make anything new and modern unless you go way out into like the suburbs of Prague. So my apartment, you're not allowed to change certain things. You're not allowed to change the doors. You're not allowed to change the windows. You're not allowed to add super modern anything really. There are a lot of Ukrainian refugees here as well, so that also adds to the lack of housing, which is horrifying, and these people need a place to live, so I'm not complaining about that. But other than that, like, the cost of living here is quite cheap. Hey, so sorry about the kind of abrupt end to that video. Basically, I was just about to finish it off. There was a lot of construction next door and my phone died. So yeah, I just wanted to say that's basically it for cost of living here. If you have any questions, put a comment down below, and you can message me with any questions, concerns, anything you want to know more about. But yeah, that's all I got for you. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm trying my hand at figuring out this editing software, so I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you back soon. All right, ciao.